And so here's what he did, just again to remind you. In the midst of a depression, worse than this one, when no city, no state, the federal government had no money, he created the Social Security system. In the middle of a depression, he said to every person over 65, the government will now give you a check every month for the rest of your life. We're going to help you. And we're going to help your children so that you don't become a burden on them. We're going to help you. And by giving you that money, you'll be able to spend it, and you'll be able, therefore, to create demand for goods and services, and that'll put other Americans to work. You might call it trickle-up economics. You give to the bottom, and it goes up. It's just the obvious logical alternative to trickle down when you give to the top and hope that it comes down. But he wasn't done. The second thing Roosevelt did is he created the unemployment compensation system. Also in the middle of the Depression, when there were millions of people out of work, he said for the first time in American history, we're going to give every unemployed person a check for a year or two, every week, to help them and to put money in their pocket so that they can keep their mortgage and not lose their house and help pay for their kids' bills and all the rest. But he still wasn't done. He then created a federal jobs program. Between 1934 and 41, Roosevelt, on behalf of the United States government, hired 15 million American unemployed. How was all of this paid for? Money for the older folks, money for the unemployed, and money to hire all these workers. By taxing corporations and the rich. That's what he did. And again, a little history, only because this history is crucial and so little of it is known. I'll just give you one example. In 1943, President Roosevelt, by the way, President Roosevelt taxed the rich, taxed corporation, and used the money to help the people at the bottom. Our leaders today don't even dare think like that, and they certainly don't talk like that. Did it hurt Mr. Roosevelt? Did it hurt his political career? No. Roosevelt's the most popular president we've ever had in the United States. The man was reelected 4 times in a row. No president had ever achieved that. So freaked out were the Republicans that when Roosevelt died, they rammed through a bill that no president could serve for more than 2 terms after that. Did it hurt Mr. Roosevelt? On the contrary. It made him a quasi-saint for half the people of the country. Wow. In 1943, Roosevelt sent a bill to the Congress. And the bill proposed that the highest tax rate on the richest people should be 100%. That's what he sent. It's also in his State of the Union message that year. What does that mean? Here's what it meant. Every dollar you earn over $25,000 a year in 1943, the government would take all of it. It was a proposal for a maximum income in America. The equivalent today would be about $395,000 a year. Every dollar over that you get, you don't get. He sent that bill to the Congress. The Republicans went ballistic. Half the Democrats too. That's usually how it works. And then it was yelling and screaming, and then a compromise was reached. And here's the compromise. Signed off by the Republicans and the Democrats, that the highest bracket, highest rate of income tax on the richest people would not be 100%. It was set at 94%. Every dollar over $25,000 you earned in those years, you kept 6 cents, and the other 94 cents went to Uncle Sam. You can't tax corporations and the rich? You're kidding. We already did that. That's old news. We've been there. We've done that, and it worked well. The only interesting question is, why are we not talking about it now? Why do we have a president and a Congress who act as though this never happened? Kind of political amnesia that calls for professional help. And maybe lots of it. So this is a system that produced extraordinary inequality and periodic breakdowns, cycles, instabilities. But the Roosevelt program, pushed by the unions, the socialists, and the communists, made us a much more equal society. By helping those at the bottom and taxing those at the top, we became much less unequal. By 1945 and 50, we were a remarkable egalitarian country, much less inequality than all the major countries of Europe. But over the last 40 years, normal capitalism resurged, came up again. And now I have to report to you that having been less unequal than all the countries of Europe, we're now more unequal. We caught up again, and we're back where we once were. And Americans are again discovering what it means to live in a system